Hey everybody, how are you doing today? So I just wanted to make a little video to share my thoughts on some things that I've been realizing and experiencing deeper and deeper and understanding more and more lately, that truly and utterly impact and control and designate your entire life and your understanding of psychology and people, relationships, baggage, hurts, emotions, and how much you create your life and how much you can create your life towards what you want it to be like. Okay? And what I want to talk about, dear friendy, is something that's very not complicated, but compared to the rest of Earth, the way we are now at the moment, the way we're living, look at the mayhem and the madness. And I shake my head and laugh every day at it. It's crazy. Most people don't get what I get in this area. There's a little man, a black looking man. Hi there. Hi. I don't know, guys. I hope this video helps you. And sorry about the slow beginning, but that's just the way I am. Let me get to the point anyway, okay? Okay, the subconscious, our life, existence, humanity, being a living being, the number one thing that you need to learn about, operate, understand, control, use, and also avoid being controlled and used by it is your mind. That includes your conscious thoughts, deliberate thoughts, etc., etc., etc. Things you can see happening or hear conversations in your head clearly. And your subconscious mind. And that's even probably just tremendously important. I was going to say more important, and in a way it is, but in other ways it isn't, but it kind of almost is more important. For example, lately I've happened to be triggering a few people, as in moving them to behave a certain way because I've moved them to feel emotionally a certain way. I've triggered them, their sensitive spots, their unhealed parts. So we're talking about cellular memories within them being activated, stirred up, and also subconscious programs happening in their head. So for example, some people, one person in particular anyway, has assumed inaccurately that I'm being disrespectful. So there's a judgment happening that I'm being disrespectful. The thing was, if I say to one part of empowered relationships is being able to allow yourself to share your intimate truth of how you're perceiving and feeling with another person, without criticism, without attack, without blame. You're showing you in your fullness of what you're going through and what you're thinking and feeling and experiencing. And with that, what happens is I did this, and I often do this because it's a fearless state, and if it's necessary and appropriate, with the right person at the right time, what will happen is their triggered spots, their subconscious. You know, let's say, it's so easy to trigger somebody, like to feel upset or irritated. Because on Earth in the past, we've been irritated and upset so much. And when people haven't let go of this, they still have the subconscious programs in their mind. So for example, let's say I didn't turn up for lunch with somebody, or let's say I say to somebody, I don't like what you're doing. They could get all like fearful, contracted, afraid, anxious, maybe even upset and angry and start judging you and saying you're judging them when actually you're just saying what you don't like. But you're like, I can say I don't like a punctured car, but that's not a judgment. It's not like a negative condemnation of the tire. It's just saying I don't like a punctured tire. You know what I mean? It's like, it's light, it's easy, there's no past, there's no huge heaviness in it. There's no huge heaviness in it. But the thing is, let's say for example someone had been beaten up and abused by their dad with tires. Let's say they were tortured, honestly. Because people in a way have been tortured to different degrees of abusiveness behaviour, like being mean treated, bullied in school. People have been led to believe that they're not important, they're not good enough, that they're bad, that they're lacking, that they're wrong, that they're a mistake of existence, and that they're not precious. So one thing I've learned lately is people can have issues over any subject. It's never the subject that's big or small. For example, some people could say, oh, it's so easy to eating the perfect diet that you know is, like, you think is best for you. It's so easy. I've no addictions, I've no attachments. I can easily just give up and change my diet instantaneously. It's so easy. And some people can. But that's the thing. So most people can't, because we have so many past experiences emotionally with food, surrounding the topic of food and diet and what we eat, self-image, dealing with emotions, being upset with our family or dad or our mum, being left out, or thinking we're too skinny, people calling us ugly, people calling us fat, eating it for emotional reasons. So for that reasons we have like a huge like complicated layer and a big ball of woven thread like in a ball, and it's knotted, it's like in knots, and we have to undo the knots of our subconscious. You see, if I did that to him, his subconscious will say that's a favourable response. But if I do this to him, I don't know if this is part of their part of the world, but if I do that to him, like, you know, he might think it's like I'm cursing him, and he could get automatically upset or offended and like maybe even angry. Some people will even get off the bike and try and attack you. It's because they're so deeply emotionally moved to do this. Like a friend of mine who is considered to be right up there at the top of my friends list, like on Facebook, completely and utterly like really close, met the person in person too. Lately I triggered them so much that they totally assumed inaccurate things about me. A few things like say, "Oh, you're not perfect" or something, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I never like insinuated I'm perfect. I know I'm not perfect." So like the person saying things out of the blue, which are totally not related to what we're talking about, because they're thinking they're thinking that I'm thinking that I'm perfect, and I'm not thinking that. I know totally and utterly I'm totally and utterly a work in progress. So it's so easy to assume things over Facebook or the written word, because you're not in person. You don't see the person's body language, their tone or temperature of their voice. They said don't be disillusioned. I'm not even sure right now what they mean by that, because it just didn't make sense. And then they said something else similar to "oh, you're not perfect," which is equally as like peculiar or odd. So some people can give it and talk down to you almost, but the minute you start being properly open and honest with them, they get upset. Then the person said like, "oh, I'm not even reading with the rest of what you're saying," and I presume this is because she just couldn't handle the heat, the honesty. She'd been triggered, like emotionally upset, and it's cool. But then they went on to unfriend me, and then they went on to block me. Me of all people. But that's okay, guys, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not upset. It was a little bit challenging for me, because like that's called like rejection, you know? But it's cool, you know what I mean? Like, I feel sorry for the person almost. Not in the sense of like, poor them, but you know what I mean? You know when someone's upset, they feel so bad that you're such a close friend of them, and they love you so much, then they delete you and block you. They're obviously hurting and going through some bad times, even if they cover it up with some fluffy words and fluffy enlightened words. So all this is about the subconscious and cellular memories, okay? Guys, the reason I'm making this video is to help you. To be honest, I sort of view myself as helping people who are growing a substantial amount. And I'm just there helping them out, helping them to go up a level. I don't really deal with the huge majority of people, because they're really deeply lost in their subconscious, and they don't even know that they're even lost in their conscious mind. So when you start saying, like, the subconscious it isn't really thoughts in your head exactly, it's more like feelings because of deep down, like, hidden thoughts. But the conscious mind is like when you say, oh, that person shouldn't be doing that, how dare they do that, they're always doing this. It's the voice in your head, that's your conscious mind. But when people aren't even aware of that, then they're completely asleep. And when some people say awakening, in a way you could say they're awakening closer towards their true self of infinite strength and power and emotional freedom. Triggerlessness, which is just hard, like, it's hard to be never triggered. But there's like a scale of 1 to 10 billion thousand, you know what I mean? And you're awakening into realizing, hey, I got thoughts in my head, and now I can start to choose them more carefully and unselect certain ones and start selecting good ones, like, that help me in life. Let's go down here, okay? So my videos, I always hoped and I always felt, and it came true, it's really for people who are already growing a substantial amount. And I'm helping you guys, you know, because this is like in a way, my greatest talent, understanding the ego or the human mind, the dynamics of relationships, our perception and interaction with life, the attitudes and outlook, how you can use your mind to totally create things and to become emotionally free, to heal, to use it for healing, to use your mind to dip into your subconscious and untie those knots, and to allow the cellular hurts to rise, to feel the emotions, to let them out, become really ridiculously emotionally free, extremely seriously empowered. Just, could you imagine, like, almost never getting upset much at all, or even almost at all, again and again, by anything? Of course, I'm not at that level. I'm not at that level where it's never, but I'm just like closing in on it. Like, it's, people can just, I don't know, yesterday I was even thinking, like, well, Owen, how would you deal if you're being tortured, like physically tortured on a table? How would you feel then, punk? But, you know, like, I don't know, like, I've just had, like, close people, like, to me, completely losing the plot, getting regularly in big bad moods with me, angry, upset, shouting, rejecting, pushing away, coldness. But that's, you know, that's their issues, not because I was doing anything mean, and I know that for sure, you know. You know, some people be afraid to say that truth because they think someone's going to judge it. Is it arrogant? Is someone going to say, oh, and that's not humility? It's the truth. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm not saying I'm bad. It's simply just the way it was. It's so funny, you know. That's another thing I wanted to make in this video. People are so controlled living their life based on trying to not trigger people. I'm going to be a goody two-shoes. Or their subconscious and conscious beliefs of what's loving, or how is love. Like, guys, can I tell you a story from my life, okay? Yesterday, I'll admit, yeah, the biggest area I could admit where I was getting bugged, I was getting triggered, because here at this place at the moment, and especially in Bali, it's a tourist place, and people want to sell you things, okay? In Bali it was way worse, but here they want to sell you stuff, okay? Some people along the seaside. Okay, there's the main road, so I just might just chill around here, to be honest. Nice, quiet place. And some people be like, you know, they're like, me and Sally, oh, there's a baby on the motorbike. Me and Sally are just like chilling, walking on the road. We want to be left on our own, but there's people like calling your name and everything. Well, not your name, but calling you, like, do you want to buy this? Do you want to do this? Do this? Here, this restaurant, come on over here, look at this. And like, they're trying to like force their wishes upon you. But the thing is, sometimes when people say, hi, I'm so friendly, I say, hi! But then I realise they just want to sell me things, so they're not really being friendly, they're just trying to, they have an ulterior motive. They probably wouldn't say hi to me in the slightest bit like this if they were off work. So they just want to make money for themselves, and they don't view me as a human being who to be friendly with, whom they love and are open to, literally, truly. But they just view me as an opportunity to make money, a money machine, a thing. So in a way, it's like hurt me in a way, or I got triggered or hurt a little bit. Like I got like, it bothered me because on one hand I love people and I like to be so friendly, and I love when people are friendly to me first. That's the same guy. Okay. So, but then to realise they're just basically using me for real, like, it just diminished the whole value of the interaction. And like, but then people keep doing this so many times, day in, day out, for weeks. It just got to me, you know. And then some of them are just so like sort of rude and abrupt. Basically, you're walking and they step into you and start giving you leaflets or talking to you. And like lately, I'm just like, get out of my way, almost like. Or I'm just like, yesterday I was like, a woman was stepping in front of me trying to like force a leaflet on me and just like totally interfering with me and Sally. We just wanted to be left in peace. And I said something like, get out of my way, please. I wasn't get out of my way. It was like, just stop trying to force leaflets on me, please, or just leave us alone, please. You're too close. You're interrupting. It was just like one sentence I said anyway. But like that's not unloving. And I wasn't particularly. I was a little bit annoyed at them. But even saying annoyed, it wasn't that deep in the slightest bit. It's more like, you know what? If you don't teach people what you want and how to treat you, they'll walk all over you. So a second later, it was gone from my energy. That's how slight it was. But you need to be empowered, guys. Having these ideas of what's loving and how you should behave, be a goody two-shoes, is like nonsense, to be honest. You got to be able to speak your truth. There's no bad feelings in my heart towards that lady in the slightest bit. I understand her position, but at the same time, you got to teach people like children sometimes. There's no need to be afraid of other people's judgments of you. You got to do this with your family too, guys. And look for your own reactions. Be willing just to say I was wrong, you know what I mean? I wasn't wrong with that lady. I was 100% right, and I'll even be more firm with people in the future. I know so many empowered people that they can. I don't know a lot of them, to be honest, but in the past I met one or two. They can, like Jesus, uplifting tables when the tax collectors started entering the temple looking for money. Like, wrong place, guys, get out of the temple. So he showed his anger or disdain or dislike of these people doing this. And he told them to get out, and he just created a bit of an uproar for a second. Because you need to teach people in the language that they understand. Saying, oh, please don't do it, please, no thank you, no thank you. No thank you doesn't teach them anything. As I said, people won't get this message, and some people will even like misinterpret me as being unkind or something, and that's just not the case, like, to be honest. If you knew me more, you'd know, and if you knew how I was feeling, you'd know, and if you were with me, you'd know. Because the very next instant I was just like chilling, peace, happy, enjoying myself, talking about other things, forgot about it. Okay, that's my way home. So anyway, I hope you get this message, and I hope you're enjoying the video, you know what I mean? So, you see, basically speaking, just realise when you're dealing with people, you're dealing with their minds. You're dealing with their conscious and subconscious. Most people aren't even aware of their conscious, let alone mastered their conscious. I haven't mastered my conscious. That's what I'm a human, probably. If I'd mastered it, I'd be like, wouldn't bother incarnating as a human on Earth. But I'm good at it. Definitely good at the unconscious, but loads more to grow. I'm only good compared to other people. I'm bad compared to other people. Depends who you compare yourself to. It's all relative. But all I can say is that I have a tremendous amount of inner peace in my life. I've never felt as comfortable in my skin, completely and utterly, very, very extremely comfortable. Just that brings so much peace. You're no longer afraid of people and you're no longer needing or attached to try and impress them or whatever else. You can just be yourself, be true, be honest. Just like this. Hey guys, there's like fruits. Oh no way, man. Check that out. It's like one of those. Is it a custard apple tree? Sweet. Cool. I don't know. Anyway guys, you know, I really love you guys. I'm not joking, and I hope you get the true gist of my videos, my energy, my feelings. More than that, I just really want to help you in life, and I want you to become free, because like being human is about growing and expanding and healing. So I'm finally going to end the video and say, I might make a part 2 about how to actually fix your subconscious and get rid of your destructive cellular memories, your pain body. Get rid of your pain body, the part that gets triggered. Get rid of that. Live in peace and freedom and happiness. Every situation you can just, like, the most challenging thing to deal with is the mind of other people. It's people, but it's not people, it's their subconscious and conscious mind and their cellular memories of pain in the past. So that's the biggest challenge. Like, it's not challenging walking in nature. What is challenging is when you're living with people, going out with somebody, or working with people, or maybe family, because it's so much triggered. So that's the biggest challenge in life, okay? And it all boils down to your mind. So the biggest challenge in life is your mind and healing, which is related to your mind. But you can still heal without your mind. But it's just such a powerful tool to heal yourself. I'll make another video on that, and I'll get away from this noise. You see, am I free to say to somebody, listen guys, I don't like you playing really loud music at night time. It's not thoughtful for other people. We want to sleep. People want to sleep. Like, people are just so afraid to do anything in life. They're so subdued because you're pitter-patting and walking on eggshells about other people's conscious reaction and judgment of you. Their reaction. So, like, when you can mix in love and tender heart and compassion with just being fearlessly real and true and open and you, sharing people the complete and utter truth of how you feel and what you think about them. I think, like, you could say, for example, I think you're just this way, I don't really like this, I think you feel this, I think you do that, you did that yesterday, I don't like it, I think you think you have a lot of issues. I encourage you to heal. Like, if someone said that to me, I wouldn't mind in the slightest bit. Who cares? Like, that's their perceptions. Like, you can say thank you. Yes, you've helped me because I think you're right. Or you could say, I think you're wrong. How hard is that? How complicated is that when you're not triggered? I think you're right, or I think you're wrong. Thank you, or or if you want to shove off, like if you think they're just being really mean to you, or something, they're trying to like control you. Maybe they're trying to control you, maybe they're not trying to control you. How simple is that? Stay with their company or walk away from their company. It's so easy when you're not triggered. This is simple stuff, like. I don't know. Shouldn't have said pa, folks. Okay, I'm gonna make another video. Practical things to do with this. Hey guys, let me know if you found this interesting and helpful. Let me know if you liked it. Have a nice day, okay? By the way, just underneath all this, everyone's beautiful. We all are source God, all that is. It's all part of the learning. It's all God experiencing itself as God. It's fine. This is all okay. It's all good. wiping its bum. Maybe it has an itchy bum. People are even afraid to say that sometimes. Guys, I'm not perfect. I'm afraid to say public things in public too. It depends on what it is. Probably. So I just don't think that I'm thinking better. I'm not. I'm just a normal person, okay? Alright, thanks for understanding and God bless you, okay? Take care. Lots of love. I do encourage you to have fun in life, so get out there and do what you enjoy, okay? 3 most important things in life: self-love, unconditional self-love, unconditional self-acceptance. Enjoying life, 3rd. All same, all equal. Do that and you're going to help everybody. You're going to fix the world, you're going to save the world. Everything is built on these 3 things. And the mind, figure out the mind. Study your negative emotions. They're not negative, but they are what they are, but you know what I mean. Just study your mind. Your emotions will tell you if you've been triggered or not. So whenever it's like an alarm clock, beep beep, your mind is doing something. Take care, guys, okay? Lots of love to you, and I'll see you in another video, okay? You're brave for listening to all this long. Look at the muscular. Hi there. Muscular body. I say that to the person, like, you're muscular. I compliment guys, like, you're lovely. I don't say that way, but I say, hey guy, you have a nice muscular body. Like, I'm joking and laughing and I put a smile on their face. I don't know. I just don't follow the rules. I just, what feels good now in the moment? That's a really good way to live. What feels good to you? What feels right to you? What resonates with you? Your highest light, your highest self. What's your excitement? See you guys. Take care. Bye.